And here asking about when a researcher rejects a null hypothesis in his study and accepts an alternative hypothesis, what type of error is likely? You know, there are two possibilities for error, type 1 error and type 2 error. What is the difference between type 1 error and type 2 error? Type 1 error means rejecting the null hypothesis when in fact it is true. That is the meaning of type 1 error. Then what is type 2 error? Type 2 error means failing to reject null hypothesis. As we know, the intention, the purpose of the research is rejecting null hypothesis. But sometimes a researcher may fail to reject the null hypothesis when in fact actually the null hypothesis is false. Okay, it is called type 2 error. Type 1 error is also called alpha error, and type 2 error is also called beta error. Whatever it is, here asking about rejecting the null hypothesis. You know, as we said now, type 1 error means rejecting the null hypothesis when in fact it is true. So the answer would be type 1 error, which is alpha error. Okay, I hope you understand. Here the answer is type 1 error. Then let's go to the next question. Let's move on to the next question. Here is the question. A university teacher conducts research study where lecture cum demonstration method is used to assess the effect on students' level of participation in terms of the socio-economic status of the family and its habitat. Which variable in this study will be called an independent variable? There are four options here: lecture cum demonstration method, then students' level of participation, socio-economic status of the family, and habitat of the family. Okay, let's see what is the meaning of this study. What the study is. Okay, at first, a university teacher conducts research study where lecture cum demonstration method is used to assess the effect on students' level of participation. I think it is a simple question, but it may be complicated to confuse us. Okay, whatever it is, actually this study is based on lecture cum method. A university teacher analyzing, evaluating how lecture cum demonstration method affect on students' level of participation. This is the core of this study. So here the independent variable would be lecture cum demonstration method, because a teacher manipulating lecture cum demonstration method and evaluating students' level of participation, which means the students' level of participation would be dependent variable. You know, in a research, if a researcher manipulates some variable, it would be an independent variable. And if the researcher measuring a variable, it would be a dependent variable. So here asking about independent variable. So in this study, the lecture cum demonstration method would be independent variable, would be correct answer. So let's move on to the next question. In which of the following research methods, manipulation and control of variable and randomization of sample are two of the basic requirements? It is a direct question. There are four options: ex post facto research, descriptive research, case study research, experimental research. As you know, here asking about research method manipulation and control of variable. In which study we are using, or as a researcher we are manipulating some kind of variable, manipulating independent variable, and controlling some kind of variables, controlling extraneous variable. And for better result, randomization of sample also will be done. Exactly these features would be for experimental research, not descriptive and not case study research. So here the answer would be experimental research. You know, in experimental research, a researcher will manipulate the independent variable and will control the dependent variable, will control extraneous variable and would measure dependent variable, and for better result and for better controlling, a researcher would randomize sample to two or more groups. Okay, so the answer would be experimental research. So let's move on to the next question. Which of the following sequences correctly represents the steps of research using a quantitative paradigm? Here asking about the process or steps of research, especially related to quantitative research. You know, quantitative research is a deductive approach in the sense from general to specific, which means there would be a theory, and based on that theory a researcher would test a specific hypothesis. This is the basic of quantitative research. Here asking about the steps of the sequence of quantitative research. There are 4 options. First one is hypothesis framing, hypothesis testing, conclusions and reporting. Then the second one is establishing a research problem, hypothesis framing, then hypothesis testing, then generalization and conclusions and implication of research. Then the third one is problem identification, sample selection, developing a research design and fieldwork. Then the fourth one is defining a problem, survey of related study, sampling, data collection and data analysis. I think these 4 options are very confusing. So let's try to choose most appropriate one here. Okay. The first one is hypothesis framing, hypothesis testing, conclusions and reporting. Here there are more steps are missing. Just hypothesis framing and hypothesis testing, conclusion and report. Only 3 steps are here. Then the second one is establishing a research problem. Actually, the basic steps of research is establishing a research problem. Based on that problem only we will frame the hypothesis. We will make the hypothesis. So in first one, the problem identification is missing. In second one, it is the correct option. Then second one is hypothesis framing. Okay, it's okay. After the establishing of the problem, a researcher would frame a hypothesis. Then after that, after the making of hypothesis, a researcher will test the hypothesis. Hypothesis testing is a very core in quantitative research. Then after that, based on the testing, based on statistical analysis, the researcher would generalize and conclude the research. Okay, after the conclusion, mostly a researcher will imply the result. Okay, then only it will be useful for society and also. Okay, whatever is it, it is very, these steps, the second one is very appropriate here, I think so. Whatever it is, let's see the third option, problem identification, sample selection, developing a research design and field work. It is not an appropriate steps. Then the fourth one is defining a problem, survey of related studies, sampling, data collection and data analysis. Okay, you know, as we know, the better option would be B option, second option, establishing a research problem, hypothesis framing, hypothesis testing, generalization and conclusions and implication of research. Okay, I hope you understood these questions. You have any doubt, any queries, you can ask through comment box. We will try to clarify your doubts, whatever it is. Okay, thank you. Let's see again.